All right. Hey guys, welcome to the Corporate Rebel Podcast. I am your host, Miss Nina Monique, and today my guest is Miss Cheryl Rhames, and we are going to be talking about balancing life, work, and business. This is something, for entrepreneurs, we try to do everything because we want everything to work, well in our favor. We want to try and balance our family. We want to try and go out with our friends sometime. We also want to manage work, but also there's, business. And if you're an entrepreneur, managing your business is very important, especially if you have a goal of, not having to work for anyone else and it's just a side hustle, but you're trying to get it to flow the way you want it to. So you could have your own stream of income and be an entrepreneur 100%. So today we are going to be talking to Cheryl, and she is very diverse, I must say. You have a background in banking.
Yes.
And
Over 6 or 7 years.
was it retail banking or investment banking?
It was investment banking. I was a supervisor at the Bank of New York Mellon doing foreign trades. I
Wow.
managed over 30 people.
Wow. What was that experience like for you? Because I know banking can be stressful at times, and I know you deal with a lot of different personalities. How was that for you? What was it like working, in banking for you?
It was different because I know I started in my 20s. So by then I started on the floor sorting, and I didn't really know anything about banking. And I moved up in the ranks as I went through school, as I went to college. So I didn't even have my degree, and I moved up on what I knew. And as I learned, they kept giving me positions. Finally, they gave me the position of supervisor. And it was a big floor. It was different. It was different because, you're in your 20s and you're in charge of people 30, 40, and they're looking at you like, little girl, what are you trying to tell me?
Exactly.
But I learned a
I've
lot.
seen that. Yeah.
I learned a lot.
I could honestly say from my experience too in banking, I did learn a whole lot. Like you said, you learn so much, and you learn so much that, the average person may not know. And you learn about, the things that you see on TV, like for example, trading, trade finance. You learn about doing business with the companies that we use in our homes all the time. So it's very interesting, and I had my ups and downs with it, but I learned a lot. That's how I got into everything I'm doing now. So I am thankful for the experience that I received out of investment banking. Very.
I think so. I think I did too.
Yeah, it helps a lot. It helps a lot. So let's get into you. So first thing I want to ask, and I always try to ask my guests this right off the bat, how have you been holding up during this pandemic?
How have I been holding up? It started out amazing when I said, "Oh, I'm working from home."
Yeah.
Yeah, that was real cute for the first 2-3 months. But then you were like, okay, all right, is it going to be over? Am I going to go back to work? But I can say I've been home for over a year and a half now, working from home, adjusting to home life, and telling my friend, I haven't seen some of my work friends. We were just talking about this. We haven't seen each other in over a year.
Oh, wow.
So, because we all work in education now, and we're like, what do we do with this? We need to get together.
Right.
So we've been trying to stay healthy, trying to take care of family, talk to people every day.
Yep.
I'm zoomed out.
Yeah.
I'm zoomed out. I can say that like everybody else. We've had so many, I know, but I can say with my students, such interpersonal relationships. I know about their families. I know every animal they have in their house. But I don't think I would have known. So I think I've been holding up well.
That's good. That's good. I can relate, but I actually enjoy working from home. I've been dying for it for the longest. And it's like the thought of me going back into the office, I'm like, ugh. But I know eventually, as we see now, the world is trying to open up again. So, I'm gonna have to start making the adjustments to get accustomed to being in the office again. So it's a challenge, but I'm looking forward to it. I
I
am,
think
because
I
I
am
do
too.
miss the interaction with people.
That's what it is. It's that daily. I mean, yes, you love your family, but I want to see everybody. I want to have that close contact conversation and
Yeah,
see them. See them.
yeah, yeah. I understand. Yeah. This has definitely been a challenging, experience to some point, but I think at the same time, when we talk about balancing life, work, and business, if you have a business, you know, hopefully you had the time to, develop it the way you want and, get into it and get it to the level in which you always wanted to. We couldn't do it, because we was always working. But now, we have a little bit of time or had a little bit of time to, get it going. So, so yeah. So what I want to do is talk a little bit about your company, Cheryl Rhames Consulting. So tell us a little bit of what pushed you in the direction of becoming an entrepreneur.
Well, I thought about this question, and
Mm-hmm.
I think I've always been on that track because I think back to my mother who had, and I had to think about this. She had her own business. My mother ran
Mm-hmm.
a daycare out of her home, and we didn't,
Wow.
yeah, and she had like 5 or 6 children, and
Uh-huh.
and it was very well organized, and we really didn't think that about, we didn't think about that. But
Mm-hmm.
then and as for me, I've always did something, whether it was Mary Kay,
Mm-hmm.
where it was, each time I grew, well, whether it was selling candles.
Right.
So each
Oh.
time we grew until
Mm-hmm.
finally I went into my purpose.
Mm-hmm.
I said,
Let's
this is my purpose.
let's talk about Cheryl Rhames Consulting. How how did you develop interest in getting into developing courses, helping people develop in online courses?
How did I get, well, let me think
Mm-hmm.
about this. I'm an
Mm-hmm.
educator. And
Mm-hmm.
I always want to work with people and teach people. And I
Mm-hmm.
did it at work. This is what I
Mm-hmm.
did at work every time, all day, every day. I was a coach. I was a
Mm-hmm.
curriculum writer. And I'm doing it for my regular pay. So I
Mm-hmm.
said, well, how can I take what I learned at work, all those PDs, all those conferences, and create my own business?
Mm-hmm.
So, and that's
Wow.
exactly what I did. I took that and I pivoted to my own consulting business with
Mm-hmm.
course creation. So I teach people how to use their expertise to monetize their income and create courses that they can sell.
That's magnificent. That's, what we was just talking about, taking what you learned and using it for your advantage. I like that, that you learned that and then you took that and you molded it into something for yourself. That's the key to anything, any lesson or any experience you
Mm-hmm.
have. Take it, mold it, and learn how to apply it for something that you can utilize and monetize along the way. So I
Yeah,
commend you on that. I
thank
like
you.
that.
Because some people just go to work just to work, but we have to
Yes,
always continue learning. You can't stop
yes,
learning.
I agree. I totally agree. Totally agree. I had to actually learn how to do that because it was one point where just working in the bank was stressing me out. And my mother, used to tell me all the time, you're in this to learn whatever it is you're supposed to learn so you can utilize it to help someone else or there's something in there for you. And
Mhm.
during this pandemic I learned, I personally, discovered that my purpose is to work with people in corporate America or talk for people for people in corporate America who may be experiencing depression or something like that. And I decided to write a book on it, to try and help someone that may be going through those
Yes.
situations that I experienced, which in, part corporate rebel, rebelling against, like you just said, just going to work to have a job. Find something in there that you can utilize to help you get through your day and to give you a purpose. So I agree with you 1000% on
Yes.
that.
Because we have
So
to take what we taught, what parents taught us. Remember,
yes,
they used to be get a job,
yeah,
retire from the job. But
yeah,
now we have to use that information.
yes, we do. We do, definitely. So when clients reach out to you for a consultation to work with your company, can you provide some insight of what it takes to build and design an online course?
Well, what I do with my clients is
Mm-hmm.
I ask them the first question: what do people always ask you to do?
Mm-hmm.
That's how I help them find their expertise. It's some,
Mm-hmm.
whether it's baking, they love to bake. Whether someone asks you to go to be a personal shopper, well, someone may ask whatever they ask you to do all the time. Party planning. I go,
Mm-hmm.
okay. So, do you like to do that? And what
Mm-hmm.
I do is I take that skill and that
Mm,
expertise they have, and I go, you could teach people how to do this. You
really?
could create a course. You can create a course on anything. And you take
Mm-hmm.
what you know and create a course on it. You could teach other people.
Oh, so like you just mentioned baking. So if someone wanted to create a course on baking, I'm sorry, I was gonna say banking, on baking, then you would like I guess they would teach them like what ingredients they need to make a cake or something. Like I'm just
You
trying
would
to.
think that. You would think
Mm-hmm.
that. You have to start at the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
What is baking?
Mm.
Because everybody man, I take it, I put it together and stick it oven. But we start at the fundamentals of what is baking.
Mm-hmm.
And then we go into the tools of baking.
Mm-hmm.
We go into the different aspects of what you can bake. And then once
Wow.
they have all that information, now they can bake. So you can
Mm-hmm.
bake, you can teach them how to bake cakes, you can teach them how to bake cookies, you can teach
Mm-hmm.
them how to bake food. But you want to start at the foundation of what is baking.
Mm-hmm. Ah, okay. That's very interesting because like um for me, I would just go in and say, okay, so this is how you bake a cake, but you're talking about like starting from like from the top and just
Mhm.
listing and flushing out your I guess your knowledge about baking to try and guide someone else on how to actually bake the cakes and the cookies and everything.
Yes, because you have to teach them. All right, so with each thing you bake, what is the temperature of the stove? What
Okay.
tools do you use to bake? What pans do you use? What material? What ingredients? So it's not just, oh, let's bake a cake. That's what
Okay.
people think.
Yeah.
And then
See,
once
I
see,
thought.
that's where you went. Oh, I'm just going to teach you how to bake a cake.
Yeah.
But they may not know what baking is. So you want
Right.
to start with the foundation. It's like that in school when you did that 101 course.
Mm-hmm.
That 101 course before you start baking, you had to know the foundations of it.
Right. Okay. That's interesting. Oh, I like that. Things that you really don't think about, especially if you're experienced in baking the cakes and the cookies. Like you just like go right into it. But because you're trying to explain it to someone else, you have to give like detail by detail.
Yes, that's what you
Okay.
have to do. You have to give
Okay.
step-by-step instructions because you
Mm-hmm.
don't want to go straight to, all right, let's just bake a cake. They're gonna go, well, you didn't tell me how to put the oven. You didn't tell
Right.
me, you didn't tell me what bake it is.
Right. Okay. Got it. So, all right. That's deep. I didn't think of it that way. Thank you.
You're welcome. See now, I have your tool. See how you thinking now? You're like,
Yeah.
wait, look, let me think about something I taught people how to do. I think I went right into teaching them, and I
Yes.
didn't teach them the why. That's
Right.
that's the most important thing, the why. That's what I
Right.
teach my clients, understanding your why.
See, okay, understanding your why. That's like helpful for me, because for example, I told you that I'm trying to write a book about, corporate America and everything. And instead of I see what I'm doing, like I'm just trying to think of my experiences, but I'm not giving like the whole overview of, for example, why I'm writing the book and everything. So I'm just trying to
Mm-hmm.
like jump right into it. So you made me think about some things just now. Thank you, Cheryl.
You are
Thank
very
you.
welcome.
So, with the pandemic, has that interfered with, your business? Have you been able to, still conduct your business the way you was doing it before the pandemic, or has it caused any challenges for you?
Well, the pandemic has created some challenges, but because a
Mm-hmm.
lot of my course creation is online, so it hasn't impacted me a lot. But
Mm-hmm.
just having that, sometimes my clients need that connection. They need that
Mm-hmm.
me sitting there with them, going with them, and having that one-on-one or having a
Mm-hmm.
group session. And I
Mm-hmm.
can't have those group sessions of besides having it online on Zoom.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So I think that's the problem. That's how it's impacted me. Not having that
Yeah.
meet time, face to face time.
Right. Yeah, I think that's,
Mhm.
for a lot of people right now. Because like you said, and like we was just saying, that interaction one-on-one. And sometimes it's
Mhm.
difficult to like learn things from the computer, and sitting on Zoom meetings because you could be distracted and your mind to go somewhere else versus being right there with that actual person. So I understand that part.
Definitely.
Definitely. Mm-hmm.
Definitely. So
So
it has impacted me in that way.
mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. I just be glad when it's over, so we could have some type of normalcy a little bit, because we still have to be careful out here. We're wearing a mask and social distancing and everything. So, hmm.
Our new normal. Our new normal is that this is our new
Yes,
normal.
yes, it is.
That's
Yes,
what
it
we're gonna
is.
call it.
I'm trying to get adjusted to it. When I walk outside sometime and like 2 weeks ago I went to a store near my house and I parked the car and I got out, went in the store, and this guy was looking at me like, hello. And I noticed that I was able to smell something. I was like, oh, I don't have my mask on. So so I had to so I was like, oh, that's why he's looking at me like that. So I had to run back to the car and put my mask on. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna have to get used to this because I'm still not used to it. So, that was something different for me. I was like, I never go anywhere without my
Oh,
mask.
neither
But
am
at that time, I didn't think of it. And I just went right in the store and everybody was looking at me like, what's wrong with you? So,
I. Right. Why she don't have her
so
where's her mask?
yeah,
And that's the thing.
yeah,
You have people looking at you like she don't have a mask. They don't know if they should say something, but they're like, she don't have a mask
yes,
on. And then you're like, and when you work from home, it's very different
yes,
because you don't wear a
yes,
mask all day. And those
exactly.
few times you go outside your house.
Exactly. Cause I that's all I've been doing really since like this whole pandemic started. I've been in the house. I'm a homebody anyway. So this wasn't really anything new for me. But
Mm-hmm.
going outside, I'm like, I need a mask now. This is crazy. And then to go to the store and just walk in there like nothing happened. I was like, oh my God, I forgot my mask. So
Look, I get it. I do. And then you go, wait a minute. You need to put your mask on. I've done that.
yeah. Yeah. And I was like, I hope, nothing happened, within those few seconds where I inhaled something. I inhaled something.
And then your mind start going, okay, the few
Yeah,
seconds. Did anything happen? Did anybody
yeah,
breathe on me?
yep, exactly.
Look,
Like I hope I don't wake up coughing or something like that. So it was a very interesting experience. I was like, never again will I do that. Never again. At least I hope
but it
not.
has changed you though. Because remember how we used to go to work sick? You won't be going to
Yes,
work sick anymore.
yes,
You won't be
yes,
going to work sick. And I said, no, we won't be going to work ever sick ever again because
yes.
people are going to be looking at us like, oh no, you need to go home. So
Exactly. Exactly. Or you'll get your temperature read right when you walk in the door.
I know. Oh yeah, you 99.5. You need to go home now.
Yeah.
So this is our new world. This is our new
Yes,
world.
yes, it is. Zoom. Zoom,
Zoom.
StreamYard, and online courses, everything. That's how
Mm-hmm.
everything is gonna be now, even more than it was before. So yeah.
It's convenient though. It's convenient.
It is. It is. I love it. I have a short commute, like 3 seconds, versus going to the walking to the corner of my house to get the bus and going to New York. So my
Yeah,
commute is
I
three
like the
seconds.
commute.
Yes, me too. Me too. So I want to get into balancing work and business. How do you balance work, life, and business? Because that's
Okay.
the
Look.
challenge. Mm-hmm. Uh-oh, you freezing up a little bit. Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. So,
Wait, I know. I don't know why I'm freezing. Okay,
okay.
because you're freezing too. Go ahead.
Uh-oh.
Are
Uh-oh.
we good
Let me
now?
see. Let me make sure. Yes, we
Oh,
are. Mm-hmm. Am I?
we're good.
Okay. Okay. So,
Yeah, good.
okay, cool. So, how do you balance work, life, and business, especially because you're home now, and all three of those are truly combined. So, how do you manage life, work, and business?
Mhm.
How do you manage it?
At first, it was very difficult. It was
Mm-hmm.
very difficult at first. I didn't know how to manage it at all. I
Mm-hmm.
was just everything was running into everything. But then I realized after I finished my 9 to 5, I have to take an hour or two to decompress.
Yes. Yes.
And
Yes.
once I decompress, I go into my business.
Mm-hmm.
And then I start working my business and I do the work for my business. But I always remember take one day off.
Yes. Yes.
One day off just to relax,
Mm-hmm.
do nothing, go to the spa and just enjoy.
Yeah.
That
Yes.
so that's what I've learned. I've learned that's how I had to balance. I had to and family and let your family know what you're doing. You have to involve your family because if you don't
Mm-hmm.
involve your family, they'll think you're ignoring them.
Yeah.
So you
Yeah.
have to involve your family too. So
Yes.
that's what I've learned. Take a day off,
Mm-hmm.
tell your family what you're doing, and take a minute.
Mm-hmm. Do you think that also applies to how we used to work before the pandemic? Because sometimes we would have to stay, a little later at work, and then you have to commute, and it was a little bit more crazy, but now it's like you can manage it a little bit better now. Like you said, it's just a matter of giving yourself a day off. It's a matter of communicating with your family. It's a matter of when you sign off from work, giving yourself some time to decompress before you step into your business. And I remember, before the pandemic, it was hard to actually, you know, do something along those lines because by the time you get home from work, you're exhausted. You got to cook for your family.
Mm-hmm.
And, you really didn't have um the option to really like I don't want to say take a day off, because it felt like if you didn't work on your business, you lost a day and you will fall behind, if I'm making sense. So,
Yes.
as the world start to
No,
open
it
up
totally
again.
makes sense. Being home,
Mm-hmm.
I kind of love it.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Yeah. Do you
Now,
like, do
as
you
the
think
world starts to open up again, it's going to be a little
mm-hmm. Yeah. Do you like have any like tips,
I think
once
we're doing
the world go back? Mm-hmm. Go ahead. I'm sorry. You
okay.
could go.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
once the world goes back to normal, I think we have to still take that moment off. We still have to know that when we get home from work, we have to
Mm-hmm.
stop. We
Yeah.
have to stop, decompress, and just take a minute to relax. And then we still have to understand we can take a day off from work because work will continue going. Because we're here today and
Yes,
tomorrow, the work will continue.
I agree. Oh,
So
yes.
that's the one thing I could say I did learn. I learned
Mm-hmm.
that. So work will
Yes.
continue, whether I'm there or not.
Yes, I agree. I actually had to
So
learn to accept that. I had to learn to accept that because I always was trying to work around the clock to prove myself to managers, to the point where it made me exhausted. And, I would still
mhm.
have things I wanted to do for myself, but everything I want to do for myself fell to the side, because I was trying to get ahead and just trying to do things, for work and everything. So taking that time for yourself is very important. I can definitely, speak on that 100%, because you have to make sure you okay, because if you're not okay, you can't function for everyone else. So I
Yes.
definitely agree with that.
Going to work when you're sick, going to work when you're not feeling well. Now, if I'm not feeling well, I work from home. I'm not going
Yeah.
in. I'm
Yeah.
going back in my bed and I'm calling and I'm writing an email saying I'm not making it today. And I'm okay with that. And I
Yes,
don't know
I
why I wasn't
agree.
okay with that before.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I personally feel that
So
wasn't
I think
our
I think I'm
mentality.
better with that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, me too. Me too. I don't think that was our mentality at that time. If I'm sick, you still want to try and go to work. Whereas, take the time to take care of yourself. Now it's like, I'm not going. Like you said, I'm not feeling well. I'm going to work from home, and respect
Oh,
that. So I definitely agree with everything that you said, 100%. So I want to get a little bit
no,
into entrepreneurship. Um, I believe when you start a business, it should revolve around something you love and you are passionate about. Because when times get
if you
rough, you have to remind yourself why you started your business. What do you love most about your business, Cheryl Rhames Consulting, and why? Uh-oh, I lost her.
wait, you're back now.
Okay. Okay. You
Okay.
hear me?
I hear you now. You were freezing.
Oh, okay. Oh, this thing. I'm in my back room. So sometimes, I could drop a signal or something. So forgive me. I'm
Mhm.
sorry.
That's okay.
I'm sorry.
No,
So
that's okay.
okay. So I was asking, well, I was saying, I believe when you start a business, it should revolve around something you love and that you're passionate about. Because
Mhm.
as you approach those challenging times, you have to remind yourself why you started your business.
Yes.
What do you love
Yes.
What do you love most about your business, Cheryl Rhames Consulting, and why?
I what I love most about my business, I love teaching people. I love
Mm-hmm.
watching people that I teach thrive. I
Mm-hmm.
love when they come back to me and they tell me their stories on how they got their first client, or one of my clients who wrote a book that I help, that I coach. He told me how well his book is doing, and he's taken his book and he wants to write a course on his book, and that course is thriving, and now he's starting a university. So
Wow.
yeah, so like he's turning his course into like a school. So I love hearing
Wow.
stories like that.
That's great. Wow.
Yes.
So we talked about baking, and now you're telling me about writing a book and how far you could take it. I didn't know you could like take a book and turn it into like an online course in a university. I think that's like so
Yes.
cool. Oh,
I'm working
nice.
with a couple of clients that one of my clients just finished, and
Mm-hmm.
I have other clients who are taking their books and creating courses on them.
Nice. I'm gonna have to talk
So
to you
we're
about
working
that.
with them on doing that.
Mm-hmm. How cool is that?
Yes, you can create a course. Like I said, you can create a course on just about anything.
Mm-hmm.
It's
I
just taking
see.
the fundamentals of what you know and
Mm-hmm.
creating a course on it.
What's the average time to create a
That's
course?
what I love to see.
Mm-hmm. Very nice.
It depends. Um,
Mm-hmm.
a course can take anything from 3 weeks to a month to get a full course together. You can create
Mm-hmm.
because you can create a course in a week, but if with all the drafts that you have to do, it may come back. The client may want more, or
Mm-hmm.
you may want to add something to it. The full
Mm-hmm.
production of a course can take up to 3 weeks.
Okay, that's not bad at all.
So
That's oh,
no,
I mean,
yeah, that's pretty good when you're creating a course.
I, I'm impressed. We're gonna have to talk when we get offline because I have a couple of ideas.
Oh,
I like that.
definitely.
Uh, wow.
Yeah, you can.
So,
I'm telling you, if you. But the goal is putting in the work.
hmm
You have to be willing to put in the work.
I have a lot. I have a lot
Okay.
of ideas that I want to run past you. Definitely. Oh wow.
Okay.
Especially knowing
I'm
this.
here to support you.
Thank you.
Oh, there you go. You're welcome.
What have been some experiences you encountered both personally and professionally that has helped you grow into the entrepreneur and businesswoman you are now?
Um, some things that help me grow is knowing that I can't do everything by myself, because I'm one of those people. Okay, I got this. I got this. I can do this myself. That's number one. Once I accepted that and kind of I released a little bit, I've gotten better. And getting a coach. Let me tell you, people think they don't need a coach. Oprah Winfrey has 4 coaches.
Mm,
So people may think, oh, I can do this myself. I know, but you always need somebody to bounce stuff off of. Your friends are great, but when you invest in a coach invests in you. So I think
I agree with
that's
that.
something that helped me become an entrepreneur. Yes.
I agree with that. That was a conversation myself and my producer for my podcast was having about doing everything on your own and you're overwhelmed and you have to learn how to, open up and delegate a little bit, because
Mm-hmm.
you're going to burn yourself out. So I can relate to that 100%.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Working those
Because
long
if you
hours.
can't, yes, yes, yes. Because she will text me sometime at like 12 o'clock, and I'm like, girl, what are you doing up? But she loved what she do. But I know, like we was discussing that, we have to learn how to delegate so that we don't burn ourselves out and be overwhelmed. And that is something very hard to do, especially when you're an entrepreneur and you want something done a particular way, or you want something done at a certain time, and learning how to trust someone else with those responsibilities. That's a challenge at times.
Yes. And as
Mm-hmm.
women, that's what we do. We work because we are the workers. We
Yes.
like to get stuff done. We like being a leader. And if we have to give it to somebody, we do that motherhood thing.
Mm-hmm.
I can do this better. But we know we can, but we have to release the reins.
Yes. Yes. And that's hard. That's
It is hard.
hard.
Oh, that is so hard. That is so hard. That is so hard.
It is. Oh man. Because then when, you always have to think positive about, allowing people to participate in something that you're doing. But then sometimes it's like, well, I would have done it this way, and I would have had it done.
I would have had this done a long time ago.
Exactly.
But you have to understand, just because they're doing it a little slower than you, it's gonna get done by the deadline.
Yeah.
Give somebody a deadline, they'll get it done.
Yes. It's that trust
Even
that you have to instill, or that trust you have to instill in yourself to trust other people.
yes, and if they
Mm-hmm.
have trust in you, that's one of the goals of being an entrepreneur. You have to trust someone and trust you. If they trust
Mm-hmm.
you and you trust them,
Yeah.
everything will be fine.
I agree. That's one thing I'm trying to do for myself, like learn how to trust people, with my projects, because I do need help at times, and it's like, well, maybe if I stay up, until 5 in the morning, that it won't be so bad. But then it's like, but then you get tired, and so you create more work for yourself at the same time too.
Oh,
So
definitely.
yes, so
I know them 3 o'clock in the morning days.
girl,
When I'm like, I could have just gave this to someone. I could have just gave this to someone else to do. But no, I need to do it. I need to do all my
yes,
graphics. I'm like, why am I doing
yes.
this?
Oh my God, that was like the most challenging for me, doing like the graphics when I was doing Sassy Classy, and making sure,
Uh-huh.
my guests like the graphics. And I would like go to bed, and then I would roll over at 3 in the morning, and I'll open up Canva, and I'll just start doing graphics. And I'll be sending them emails
Yes,
at like
yes.
4 in the morning, and they're like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm sorry. I just want to make sure you get this." So
Like, you're
yeah.
sending me that I did the same thing. I've gotten better.
Hmm.
I've gotten much better with stopping. They
Yes.
say you should stop a half an hour before you go to bed. Everything.
Girl, my brain still be going.
I know that's why you gotta stop. Half an hour. It'll work. It'll work.
I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna try it. So when the world gets back to some type of normalcy, what's next for your business?
What's next for my business?
Mm-hmm.
I think what's next for me is having those live events.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
having like right now in June, I'm doing something where it's about 100 people, but it's online.
Oh.
And I want to do small. I want to do smaller events where it's about 100 people, but it's online. I want to do small. I want to start out small because
Mm-hmm.
we still got to social distance for a little while.
Yeah.
Once I do that, I want to start making it bigger, hiring more staff on so they can do it. So
Mm-hmm.
taking my business to the next level
Mm-hmm.
with some live events.
Yeah.
That's what I want to do.
Cool. I think everyone, when the world, get back to some normalcy, everyone is just gonna be like, woohoo, just
We're not going to know what to do. We're not going to know what to do. We're going
I
to be out of
already see it.
control.
Yes.
I
Yes.
can't wait to see it. I can't wait to see it.
Me too. I
I'm ready
can't.
for our next chapter in our lives. That's what we're gonna
Yes.
call it. Our new normal, our next chapter.
I like that. I like that. I really, really do.
Look, positivity. That's what I tried for.
Yes. We always have to be positive, especially during these times and when you
Yes,
manage in a business because you will be challenged.
we will be challenged because
Mm-hmm.
because we're blessed that we're still moving, we're still alive, our
Yes.
business is still growing. Where some
Yes.
people don't have that. So that's the thing I can say we're blessed about.
Yes. 1000% correct. 1000%. So I wanted to get into a little bit about purpose, because I did an interview last week where it was called Serving a Greater Purpose.
Mhm.
And it was with someone named Shantae Miller Wright. And one thing she talked about was knowing your purpose, when to step in it, and knowing how to use it to help other people.
Yes.
And one thing you mentioned previously, during our talk, is wanting to help people. You like helping people, and you also feel like what you're doing is your purpose.
Yes.
Um, that realization, how did that come about to you? Was it, like you said, just being in corporate America and um being on the conference calls and saying to yourself, this is something I can do? Did that, spark that interest into just, starting your own consulting company and using that as your purpose to help people?
No, I think that helped, but
Mm-hmm.
I think that kind sparking that my finding my purpose was just helping people. My friends, they were asking me, do I know something? Doing I mentor people. I mentor new teachers. I mentor young girls on how to start their own business. I mentor
Mm.
girls who live in group homes who
Mm.
don't understand about money, who want to start their own business. I talk to my nieces and nephews. So
Mm-hmm.
that kind of helped me find my purpose. My
Mm-hmm.
purpose is to help people thrive. And I said, well, I wanted to start a nonprofit.
Mm-hmm.
I really do. I'm like, all right, I'm nonprofit all the way. Realize nonprofit, yes, well and good. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
And somebody suggested to me, they said, why don't you start your business first?
Mm-hmm.
So you have the equity to do your nonprofit and not worry about money for your family.
Right.
So I said, okay, that's what I want to do. I want to
Mm-hmm.
step into my purpose and I'm going to take what I do and work a nonprofit.
Mm-hmm.
So right now I have a profit. I want to have a nonprofit where I teach young girls how to start their own business, teach adults who want to use what they know, their expertise, as I call it, to create their own courses.
Mm-hmm.
So that's
Wonderful.
how I stepped into it.
That's wonderful. It really is. And especially when you mentioned
Thank
working with uh, girls in group homes, because I feel like a lot of times the world excludes, women that live in group homes. And it's like you can't exclude them. They're very smart. And I think too, I feel, especially with what we experience now in the world, everyone should be trying to lend that helping hand and sharing what you know, because it shows that we can't just depend on corporate America for a check anymore. A lot of people lost their jobs. A lot of people lost their home.
Definitely.
So, all the the women and the kids who have these wonderful ideas, it's great that someone like you um is in their presence so that you can help bring that out to try and, make the world a little bit better than what it is right now, and to get them up and running and show them that regardless of what your situation is, if you really want something, you can have it. And how important it is to have a mentor. You mentioned
Yes,
that also, having a
yes,
mentor and a
mentoring.
coach.
Yes, mentoring and coaching. That is my passion. I love meeting with my girls every week, and we have
Mm-hmm.
those amazing conversation. We're teaching them how to be girl bosses. And when they show us what they've created, I am so excited to see
Mm-hmm.
their faces and to see what they created. They're very into what they created. And they can
Mm-hmm.
now they're giving girl, we got girl power funding
Yes.
for everything. So we have
Mm-hmm.
to take advantage of all of that, why it's available to us.
Yes. Yes. I agree. I agree. Is there any way like people can donate to help you, keep your mentoring and your coaching going for these young girls and these women?
Well, I did have something up on my PayPal account where they
Mm-hmm.
can go and where they can go into my website, they can donate. I'm
Mm-hmm.
considering putting it back up, but a lot of
Mm-hmm.
it I've been funding on my own, which
Mm-hmm.
that is part of my purpose. But I will be putting up that donate sign again, where people can donate to help me
Mm-hmm.
fund things for girls and
Mm-hmm.
women who want to take my course, women who need mentoring.
Mm-hmm.
So they can go to
And,
my website at CherylRhames.com, CherylRhamesConsulting.com, and they'll
mm-hmm.
see a donate button.
Okay. I'm definitely gonna donate because
Definitely.
um I love seeing people do things like that. I really, really do, because that's something too I want to do for myself along the line, like just do things to help women in my community, and young people also. So I definitely will be donating. So I will be going to your website and looking to help you fund,
Thank you.
what you're doing. No problem. No problem. I love stuff like that. I really, really do. Um, so we are going to come
Thank
to an
you.
end of our interview. And before we go, is there anything that you want to discuss that we may not have touched on during the interview? If so, the floor is yours. Feel free.
I just want to let people know that if you want to start a business, just go
Mm-hmm.
for it. Don't let fear and hesitation stop you.
Mm-hmm.
You may not see money right away. You may fail, but just have that. Just start.
Agree.
Start, fail, and get a coach. Get a
Yes.
coach. If you have to start with the free coaches, start with the free coaching. There's so many people offering free coaching. Take that for
Mm-hmm.
now and just level up as you get more revenue.
Yes.
And just know I'm always here to support people who just want to talk.
And when someone needs to just talk, that would be your website where they could contact you, right?
Yes, they sign up for my free consultation because it is a free
Mm-hmm.
consultation. And it says a half an hour, but sometimes I'm on there with them for longer than a half an hour just to
Mm-hmm.
what they need and what they want.
Yes. That's a good coach,
So
because
I just
that's the
want to say
most
thank you.
important. Yeah. No problem. No problem. So, Cheryl, it was a pleasure speaking with you.
It was a
And
pleasure speaking with you.
thank you. And we're gonna be in touch. I'm gonna talk to you offline because I want to donate. So I'm gonna give you a call after the interview and we're gonna talk.
Yes, definitely. Thank you. Thank you so much.
No problem. No
It was a
problem.
pleasure.
Enjoy the rest of your Saturday.
All right, you too. Have a good day.
Thank you. You too.
All
Bye.
right. All right. Bye.